Hi, this is Tina, friends and I are protecting families, or protecting the pack. I want to talk about the reverse osmosis system that I've selected. Now, I remember I was living in my home in Upland, and before we had reverse osmosis, I would drink this really hard water, and I knew it was hard because there was one days where I would just get a little glass cup with water, and I'll put it there, and it was so dry there that you'll kind of like walk back to it, and all the water would have dried out on this hot summer day, and you'll see this really chalky ring of just white stuff. Like, I was like, really, like, wow. I mean, man, that water's really hard, and it's just like this calcium there, right? And then over time, I was like, I didn't really know about reverse osmosis or any water filtration system. I just like, whatever it was that my refrigerator had, that little cylinder thing, that's all I used. But over time, I started to feel like I had a short-term memory, like kind of like thinking like, hey, I need to go downstairs to get something. I walk downstairs and like, what was I supposed to get? I walk back up and like, oh, I'm doing whatever. Like, oh yeah, I need this, and then I come back down, and then I'll finally get my stuff. But it was just weird that like it really affected my brain. Like it's just like my mental clarity wasn't there. I don't know if I had headaches or not, but it was just like some days it was just like I just wasn't myself. Like I had an engineering background, and I had to have a sharp mind in order to do my calculations and my programming, whatever I need, right? So after a while, we finally moved into another house over time, and I finally got this reverse osmosis system by APEC. It was pretty easy to install. You kind of just, the instructions there. You put you connect all the tubes to where it needs to go, and then there's an exhaust tube that goes into your drain so that it can, throw out all the nasty stuff, and then all your good stuff goes up. But then we would use it to fill, a big pot of water to make tea or whatever, and it would only have about like a gallon-ish or 2 gallons or whatever it was, and then I would run out of water, and it would be a slow trickle. I'm like, dude, it's taking forever for it to run. I've never replaced the filters for about maybe 3 years of using it, but using a tester, it still shows about like maybe like very minimal. It's like 20 on the scale, and I think coming out of tap was like 200 to 300 particles per million. I think that's what they call it. So it's still a very good system, but I didn't like that it took a while to get my water. So we're moving to Texas, and I was looking around. I was like, hey, we want to put a new reverse osmosis system there too, and I'm kind of in the survival mode too, kind of prepping for the crash kind of thing. And we do live near a lake. And we actually, our backyard is kind of part of the lake, kind of goes into it, so you kind of fish off the backyard. So it's really cool. So I thought that, I looked around. I did see that iSpring had a really good reverse osmosis system. I wanted a UV system in there to kind of kill any bacteria or viruses that come through. And I noticed APEC also has one, but they leave the UV light on all the time. And the guy was like, dude, when I'm drinking my water, it's like warm and hot and nasty, and I don't want that. And so then they gave him this workaround where they would put the UV first, and then by the time you get to your tank, it'll be all cold by then. But and I don't think they have any intention of changing. But iSprings, on the other hand, has a little more thought, a little more intuition in how they thought through their system. Similar to buying a phone, Samsung has more intuition than Motorola, which that's a whole new thing where it's just the simplest things where it should be intuitive for you to like make a simple phone call, but Samsung had thought about the little quirks and whatever so that it kind of makes it easy, and like, hey, there's the shortcut here, I can add context quickly. Motorola didn't. You have to kind of go back to contact manually, blah blah blah, right? So that analogy for iSpring was that the first core is that clear one, right? So you kind of see if you need to change filter out without having to unscrew it and look at it. So that's one little thing. And they have a motor that pumps the water. So I thought that was cool because if something happened, natural disaster, and we really needed water, and there's no water pressure from the water plant or whatever, we can just grab some lake water and throw that in there and they'll pump it out, right? So that's one thing for survival. And the other one is that the UV light will turn on if it senses a flow, and it'll leave it on for just a little bit, just to make sure that anything that's stagnant in that chamber will be killed before it turns off. So it keeps your water, cool. Okay, so those are little points where I noticed that's why I chose the iSpring for our new home. I did not want the alkalinity to kind of put minerals back into it, because we get plenty of minerals from the food we eat already. So I just want just a pure, clean, no particles, nothing in it, water, just clear, and then anything else we eat will be more than enough minerals for it. So just clear, refreshing, clean, fresh, glacierish kind of thing. I don't know, but that's what at least what it tastes like to me. So that's why I chose the iSpring. If you want to get see that the system I bought on Amazon, I'll put the link below. You can check it out and go from there. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and maybe later on you have any questions where I can do more videos on how I installed it, maybe the taste, or maybe some updates on it, on the filter status or whatever. But let me know if you want me to do those videos. Okay, thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you then.